1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 ribbons. I'm using 6 colors for purposes of this video only to make it much easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. I'm using a very short amount of ribbon because I'm not worried about making a long braid. I'm only using a single layer of ribbon because, again, this is for video purposes only. Making a braid to go on a mom and making a braid for video purposes can be two completely different things. For some braids that have a lot of ribbons or have a lot of things going on, for video purposes it's easier to do a simpler version. So that being said, when you make these braids, if you want a nicer looking braid, a nice thick braid, you may want to double up the ribbons. This is what we're making, and this is one with doubled ribbons. So I don't want anybody on Facebook knocking me because my ribbons aren't doubled for a video tutorial. This is a triple military braid. If you know how to do the double, you can figure out the triple, but I'm going to show you how to do it. And I came up with this. I'm sure there's probably other people, other makers that came up with a triple too, because like I said, if you know how to do the double, you can easily come up with the triple. It did take me a little while, a few times, to come up with a really clean end, a beginning. This was my 3rd attempt. Here's my first 2. Now you see the first one was not clean, and I used single. I don't know if you can tell the difference. You can by holding it, that this is a single layer of ribbons, and then the green and orange was double. Now when you double them, you want to put the shiny side out on both sides so you get the shiny side showing. See, like here's the dull side, here's the shiny side, here's the shiny side. So if you want the shiny side showing on every piece, then you want to double it as well. Plus it makes it thicker. So I don't know if you can tell a difference there or not. Again, this was for learning purposes only. And it's been a while since I made this. It's been a couple of months at least, maybe longer, maybe 3 months going on now. It's just been so much going on. I haven't been able to make the video tutorial. Here is an issue that I had. You see how much extra ribbon I have? It looks like I should have kept going. No, there was 1, 2, and then I think there was one more. I don't see it, yeah. So these ran out early, and then the other ones are super long. I have no idea, because there's no way to mark them. I guess there could be a way to mark them, but that would be a lot of work. I'm thinking that I started out with 5 yards for that. It made about 27, 28 inches. I'm almost certain it was 5 yards. Like I said, it's been several months now that I made this, and I haven't practiced one in a while, so hopefully this video turns out well. I may have to redo it. Now, this was the second one, so after I did this one and I couldn't get, and it didn't look clean, I didn't like the bottom, so I figured out a clean way to do the bottom. But I did mess it up, the braiding, and it didn't do. You see how it comes to a point here? See how the double and the triple needs to come to a point right there in the middle, and this one did not. So I did something weird. But when I made that 3rd one, it was perfect. I did take pictures to remind myself exactly how to start it. You want to make a loop with one ribbon, and the other ribbon you're just going to attach coming off like this. Now you can put that piece on the inside and hide it like that. Or you can put it on the back. You can still see it a little bit. And you just want your loop to be big enough to fit, to be able to make another loop. So you may need to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. I like to try it out before. I don't like them too big. I want them a little bit snug. that should work. I'm just putting a staple there at the bottom. Hopefully I got it, yeah. So you can see where the staples were. They're red and green the same way. And you just want to match up your loop. Once you make the first one, all you have to do is match the second one. Again, I'm going to put that on the inside. Now for these two. Okay, now we can start layering it. And the way I did it on this one, I laid this one down, and then I laid the next one on top of it like this, and it's coming down. You don't want to overlap these ribbons. See how they're butted up against each other, but they are not overlapping each other. And then this one will come in like that. And again, we'll put it right beside that one. And I stapled it here and here. This is going to be my front, and hopefully I can remember how to start this. Which one was first? I don't know if it matters. Like I said, it's been a few months since I did it, so I'm trying to remember how I did those. I'm just going to start it and see if this works. So I'm just making a loop. You should know how to make a military braid if you're attempting this, please. Don't let this be the first military braid you make. So you know, you just make a loop and then you go inside the other loops. Now these I can't tighten up because they're stapled. That's why I wanted to make them as snug as possible. So now I'm going to go in with the orange. I give you another tip to make this easier. I think I need to tilt you down even more. So I'm going to tighten that up. But I'm also going to stick that right there, just somewhere to hold that. I don't want to do that because I don't want to crease it, but I'm going on the inside there. I just went on the inside of the orange loop and the inside of the yellow, keeping it tight because it does want to unravel while you're trying to make it. It's very annoying. Oops. And it wants to twist on me. Okay. Now I'm coming up with the red, so that's the middle one. I'm going to pull that green ribbon. I'm going to undo that for now. You can see. You always want to make sure you pull those as snug as they'll go. Now for the blue, the third one. And I'm going to pull that purple. Pull that snug, pull that snug. Okay, I'm going to keep going with the one that's closest to the center first. Go 1, 2, 3, then I'll go 1, 2, 3. I hope that makes sense. I know I didn't do that at the beginning, but I think that's how you get that nice little point in the middle, if I remember correctly. I know I probably should have practiced this before doing a tutorial, but you know, I had the time to make the tutorial, I need to work on it. And for the outer one, if this is wrong, I'll just undo it and start over. So I'm going to start with the inner one, then the middle one, and then the last one. So orange into yellow. Tighten that up. You also want to pull that too. Now for the middle into the middle. And pull that. See how you have to constantly tighten these up. And so here you're dealing with 6 ribbons, and if you double the ribbons, you're going to be dealing with 12 ribbons. So you might want to have something like this handy. I think this is exactly what I want. So again, I'm starting with the middle, or I mean the one closest to the center, then the middle, and then the outer one. So center, closest to the middle, then the middle one, and then the outer one. 1, 2, 3. And it's getting twisted. So purple into blue. Green into red. And I have to tighten up before I make my loop. Now, I'm going to stay with that one because that's the one closest to the center of the braid. See how that doesn't want to stay tight? And I'm tightening that before I make a loop. And pull on that green one. And the last one. And then I'm going to start with that one because that one's on the closest to the center of the braid. And I'm going to be running out of ribbon in just a second. Like I said, I made this very short just for video purposes. It will take a while to get measurements. So if you guys make these, let me know in the comments like how much ribbon you used. This is going to be the last one. So again, I started with the one closest to the center. Now the middle ribbon. Now for the last one. You got that nice point going on right there in the middle. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap that one in there. I think I could probably make one more loop, but that's okay. And I'm going to take this one into that loop. Pull that. And I'm going to put that one in there. And pull that. Okay. Staple that end. Take that red one. I'm stapling the red to the red. The blue to the blue. Sorry, I can't keep it still. Actually, I probably should have stapled those too. I know what I was thinking. Just staple them all. You're not going to need all of those for hanging purposes. So you would hang it, you know, you could use these, but I would prefer to hang it like right around in this area here to the mum. Now this is a little over, it's about 3.5. It's starting out about 3.25, and then it's 3.5 up here. So, and this is 9/16 inch ribbon. So if you use 7/8, you're going to get a much wider braid. So think about that. Like, how wide do you want this thing? I think you can see what I was doing much better, having 6 different colors, and look how pretty that is on the back side. Of course, all the shiny ribbons showing back there. And see, that's not clean, but it's much cleaner. You can still see staples, but that's okay. And I actually should have stapled them the other direction. I always forget to do that, so you don't have the ends. You would just have the solid piece on the front. And you can't see them on the front, and you really can't see them on the bottom, so they're pretty hidden. I think it works out pretty good starting it like that, and then stapling them together like I did holds them together, which is going to make it much easier to braid. So when I start doing the double again, I'm going to have to start doing it like that, and I'll probably redo the double military braid tutorial some point too, to start it like that, because it's much simpler if you've got it stapled together and you can hold it together and not have to worry about trying to hold them together while you're braiding. That causes a lot. So this is much easier. So this is a fun braid. It's not exactly new because you know, I'm just taking off the double and adding triple. Just adding to it. So it's kind of new. I know after I said, was it back in February that I was going to do this, that somebody else talked about it on Facebook or something, or that they were going to do one, or they did one or something, I don't know. So like I said, I'm not saying I'm the first person that came up with this. The idea just struck, and I played around with it and came up with it. I didn't learn how to do this from anybody else. I came up with this on my own, like I do with most other braids. So, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you like this new braid. I'm going to call it a new one because triple military is different. And I haven't seen anybody do it. But that doesn't mean nobody has. So, this technique is mine. If you guys share this, which I would love for you to share it on any social media, just be sure and tag me or let people know where you learned how to make it so they can come see me too, so I can hopefully get some new subscribers. And that really helps me out if you share, but it also really helps me out if you're honest about where you learned how to make something. I do have some people that will learn on my channel and then go to other social media and pass it off as their own teaching, which is really upsetting. That they learned it for free from me, my hard work, and then they pass it off as their own hard work. It's upsetting, but it happens. So I appreciate. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, like, comment. Please be kind with your comments. Happy mum making, happy crafting, and I'll catch you all in the next one.